WAEC 2023 objective question number 1. We're asked to evaluate to correct to 3 decimal places. 4.314 being multiplied by 0.0056 is 4 zeros, 56, and this is being divided by 0.0067. Now this is a question involving standard form and also indices. So let's implement this to ensure we have understanding. You can as well just plug this into your calculator and you get an answer if you use a calculator. But then if you are not using a calculator, let's see how we can resolve this. So the first thing to do is to convert 0.0056, that's 4 zeros 56, to the standard form, and as well convert this to also a standard form. So to convert to a standard form, when we move the decimal place, moving the decimal place to the right, we are going to multiply the resulting by 10 raised to the power of minus something. And if we move the decimal place to the left, we are going to multiply it by 10 raised to the power of positive. So if you look at 0.000056 now, we are going to move the decimal place forward in how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if the final decimal place is here, so therefore the resultant value will be 5.6. We moved it 5 times 10 raised to the power of minus 5. Remember, when we move the decimal place forward, we are going to multiply the resultant by 10 raised to the power of a negative value. Similarly, 0.0067, we are going to move the decimal place forward, and when we move it forward, we move it 1, 2, 3 times. So therefore this will result into 6.7 times 10 raised to the power of minus 3. Now we have converted them to decimal places. Now let's substitute it into this value. So we have this to result into 4.314 being multiplied by 0.000056 is now 5.6 times 10 raised to the power of minus 5, and 0.0067 is now 6.7 times 10 raised to the power of minus 3. Now we can say something now that indices is coming to play by itself. All right, now so we can now divide this thing into 2 such that we will take the numbers and then we will take the powers of 10 together, then we'll apply indices to it. So let's begin with the numbers. So we have 4.314 multiplied by 5.6 divided by 6.7, and then we'll multiply by 10 raised to the power of minus 5 divided by 10 raised to the power of minus 3. Now we see something interesting here. We see indices being played out here. So with indices being played out, there's we call the laws of indices. X raised to the power of a multiplied by x raised to the power of b is equals to x raised to the power of a plus b. Similarly, x raised to the power of a divided by x raised to the power of b, which can also be written as x raised to the power of a divided by x raised to the power of b is equals to x raised to the power of a minus b. And the power law of indices, x raised to the power of a raised to the power of b is equals to x raised to the power of ab. So let's stop there for now. So in view of that, we have 10 raised to the power of minus 5 divided by 10 raised to the power of minus 3, similar to this. So all we just have to do is just to subtract the powers. So let's subtract the powers, and this will be multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 5. Let's subtract the powers. So this becomes 10 raised to the power of minus 5 minus 3. And if we use our calculator for this or tables, we'll have 3.606 and this will result into 3.606, and we will have the indices that we solved. -5 multiplied by -5 minus 3 would give us 10 raised to the power of -5 plus 3. So we'll have 3.606 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of -2. Now, this is our answer in standard form. Now, if we look at the option, we'll see that the option is given in decimal form, so we have to convert this backwards to decimal points. So with this now, we have 10 raised to the power of -2. And we understand that when we are converting from decimal points to standard form, when we are moving the decimal points forward to the right, okay, we're moving the forward to the right, we will multiply by 10 raised to the power of minus, and when we're moving backwards to the left, multiply by 10 raised to the power of positive. So in view of that, we have to go backwards in time now. So we are going to go backwards, such that this will result into, we want to move 3.606. okay, we want to move the decimal place backwards into this in 2 places. So we have 1 2. So now this is the new decimal place, and we'll have the introduction of 0 here. So this will result into 0.03606. Now if you look at the question says evaluate correct to 3 decimal places. So in 3 decimal places we'll have here, so let's simplify or approximate. So we have 0.036 because the last value here is 0, and this is equivalent to option B. Remember, so 3 decimal places. WAEC 2023 objective question number 2. The question says there are 30 students in a class, 15 study woodwork and 12 study metalwork. 6 study neither of the 2 subjects. How many students study woodwork but not metalwork? So this is a question on sets. So we have to involve Venn diagram in this. So we have to draw a Venn diagram. Okay, remember Venn diagram. Let me write it out. Venn diagram. And we have 2 subjects. Okay, we have woodwork. Let's call it W. And we also have metalwork. Let's call it M. So now let's go over the question again, and this time around we make our substitutions where necessary. So there are 30 students in the class, so we are the standard, the universal is equals to 30. That means the total number of students is equals to 30. Now 15 study woodwork. Woodwork, the total number of students studying woodwork is equals to 15. And 13 study metalwork, so we have M to also be equals to 13. Now, sorry, excuse me. The next line says 6 study neither of the 2 subjects. So let us make the multiplication where necessary. This section, this blue section here, okay, is for woodwork only. Let's understand it, woodwork only. Likewise, this section here, we will call it for metalwork only. Metalwork only. And this intersection, okay, it will be both woodwork and metalwork. So W and M. Now, if you don't study woodwork or metalwork, then that means you fall outside woodwork and outside metalwork, but you are still within the classroom. Okay, maybe your option was just not stated, maybe you're studying maybe fabrication or something. Now, so that means this option is equals to 6. Now the questioner says how many students study woodwork but not metalwork. So that means how many students are studying yeah, how many students are studying woodwork only? So this is what we are looking for. How many students are studying woodwork only? So to simplify that now, let's draw this again. Okay, let's replicate it, but this time we'll just use the black ink. So we have the universal set to be equal to 30. Woodwork, let's make the circle bigger. Woodwork, metalwork, woodwork, metalwork, and this is equals to 15. Metalwork is equals to 13. The number of students that study either is equals to 6. So now let's begin. We want to evaluate those that have woodwork only, and to do that, let us make the substitution of those that study the 2 as x. So in view of that, those that study woodwork only, okay, what just happened? Let's draw again. Okay, so we'll make the substitution x, and those that study woodwork only would be, what's happening? You know what, let's just draw this again. Metalwork to be equals to 13. So those that study woodwork only will have the expression, since the whole circle of woodwork is equals to 15, then this will be 15 minus x. And since this whole circle here is equals to 13, this will be 13 minus x. So we can just maybe change the ink of this so that we'll understand where we are coming from. So 6. So with that done now, if you understand, if you look at these two diagrams now, the universal set is the total of students inside. So that means the total number of students is the students that study woodwork only, that's 15 minus x, plus the students that study metalwork only, that's 13 minus x, plus the student that study both, that is plus x, plus the student that study neither, and that is plus 6. So with that now we can just evaluate for the value of x. So 30 will be equals to 15 minus x plus 13 minus x plus 6. So simplifying this further, this will result into 30 plus 15. We have 15 plus 13 plus 6, and this will result into 34. Minus x will nullify plus x, and we'll be left with minus x. And so we can evaluate for x now. We say 30 minus 34 is equals to minus x. Minus 4 is equals to minus x, and therefore x is equals to 4. Now we have 4 students that study both. So if x is equals to 4, then the number of woodwork only, woodwork only is equals to 15 minus x. Woodwork only is equals to 15 minus x. So this means we have 15 minus 4, and this is equals to 11. So the question says how many students study woodwork but not metalwork? That means woodwork only, and we have the answer of 11, which is equivalent to option number C. So all that we just have to understand is this Venn diagram concept, and when we apply it, we apply the universal is equals to the individual sum, and we'll have 11 as our final answer. Now let's proceed on to WAEC 2023 objective question 3. We have a question that 2 raised to the power of 5x being divided by 2 raised to the power of x is equals to the 5th root, equals to not z, equals to the 5th root of 2 raised to the power of 10. Now as we can see now, these are involving questions on indices. Let's rewrite this. 5th root of 2 raised to the power of 10. Now this all involves indices, so the first thing to do now is just write out the laws of indices. Let's write it out on this side. Remember, x raised to the power of a multiplied by x raised to the power of b let's move this, is equals to x raised to the power of a plus b. So when we have the subtraction law, x raised to the power of a divided by x raised to the power of b, we'll have x raised to the power of a minus b. Similarly, when we have the power law, x raised to the power of a raised to the power of b is equals to x raised to the power of ab. And let's say roots of x of a raised to the power of b can be written simply as x raised to the power of b over a. So you can watch more lesson video on our YouTube channel on indices and logarithm, where we explain all this in details. Now moving on, we have 2 raised to the power of 5x divided by 2 raised to the power of x. So we are going to apply this. Remember, they are of the same base. So let's apply the quotient law, or the subtraction law rather. Let's do this in such a way we understand better. We are applying this to the left hand side. So with that, we will take the base. Since they have the same base 2 and 2, all we just have to do is just to subtract the power. So that means we're subtracting 5x. Okay, we're subtracting x from 5x. So we have 5x minus x. So that's for the left hand side being done. And the right hand side now, we have 5th root of 2 raised to the power of 10. So all we just have to do is to also apply this principle here. And in this principle, we understand that a is equals to 5 and b is equals to 10. And the result is x raised to the power of b over a, where x is equals to 2. So in view of that, all we just have to do is equate it to this format. X is 2, b raised to the power of b over a, that's 10 over 5. So that's simple, and all we just have to do is just to solve these expressions together and find the value of x. So 5x minus x will give us 4x, so we have 2 raised to the power of 4x. 2 raised to the power of 10 over 5 will give us 2 raised to the power of 2. So now we have same base, equate the base. So if we have the same base, all we just have to do now is to equate the powers. So let's equate the powers. Okay, I apologize for this. We'll try and fix that before the next lesson. So proceeding on, when we equate the powers, we have 4x to be equals to 2. And with that, x will be equals to 2 over 4. And this will be equals to 1 over 2. And 1 over 2 is equivalent to option B. So remember, this is just a question on indices, and we have the laws of indices being applied to it. And moving on to WAEC 2023 objective question 4. You have the question also on indicial equations. So we are given 1 plus cube root of x minus 3. Let's rewrite this. So we have this to be cube root to be equals to 4. And we're asked to find the value of x. Now, if you recall vividly in our last lesson, question number 3, we solved questions involving the indicial equations using the laws of indices. Now, let's solve this now. We are looking for the value of x. Okay, so the first thing to do is to move this one to the right hand side. So let's move 1 to the right hand side. So we'll have the cube root of 3 to be equals to 4 minus 1. So therefore we'll have the cube root of 3 minus the third root of x minus 3 to be equals to 3. Now we want to take away this the third root now. So we also have to take the cube of both sides. Take cube of both sides. So when we take cube of both sides, we'll eliminate the third root of both sides. So in view of that, we'll have the cube root, or the third root rather, raised to the power of 3 to be equals to 3 raised to the power of 3. Remember, this is initial equation. We solved a ton of these in our lesson. On our playlist, just go to the YouTube channel and you'll see lessons on indices. So when this, we'll have that 3 will nullify the cube root of third root of 3, and we'll have x minus 3 to be equals to 3 raised to the power of 3. 3 raised to the power of 3 is equals to 27, because that's 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. So then we can now find the value of x. So x will be equals to 27 plus 3, and therefore x is equals to 30. And this is equivalent to option C. So you can see initial equations, very simple and short. WAEC 2023 objective question number 5. The question is simple. It asks us to express 413 base 7 to base 5. So we want to express 413 in base 7 and convert it to a number in base 5. Now, for us to move from base 7 to base 5, we have to go through an intermediary, which is base 10. So we have to convert 413 to base 10 first, and then afterwards we convert it to base 10 to base 5. So let's begin. Let's convert it to base 10. So 413 to base 7, converting to base 10. So the usual concept is just to label the powers of 0, 1, and 2. And this will become 4. We begin with 4. We're using the 7 as the multiplier. And the power will be the number on top, 2. Adding, we proceed to 1. Okay. We are using 7 as the multiplier. The powers on top is 1 plus 3, using 7 as a multiplier, and the power on top is 0. So simplifying this now, we'll have 4 multiplied by 49 plus 1 multiplied by 7 plus anything raised to the power of 0 according to the law of indices is equals to 1. So we have 3 multiplied by 1. So 4 multiplied by 49 is equals to 196 plus 7 plus 3 plus 7, okay, plus 3. So with that, we'll have this to give us in base 10 numbers 206 base 10. So 413 base 7 is equals to 206 base 10. Now remember, we are going to base 5. We just use base 10 as the intermediary. So now let's convert it to base 5. So to base 5 now, we'll be using 206 using base 10, and we are going to be dividing all through by 5, where we'll have the remainder. So 206 divided by 5, we'll have the results to be 41. And 41 multiplied by 5 is 205, and therefore we'll have the remainder 1. Similarly, 41 divided by 5, we will have 8, because 8 multiplied by 5 is 40. Then we'll also have a remainder of 1. Then 8 divided by 5, we will have 1. It's 5 multiplied by 1 is 5. Then we'll have a remainder of 3. And 1 divided by 5, we'll have 0, remainder of 1. So the usual concept is to read it upwards. So we are saying that 206 base 10 is equals to 1311 in base 5. So if 203 1311 in base 5. So now if 206 is a number in base 10 and is equated to 1311 base 5, and we understand that 206 in base 10 is also equivalent to 413 in base 7. So we have 413 in base 7 to be equals to 206 in base 10 and 1311 in base 5, and this is equivalent to option B. Option B. Let's proceed further to question number 6, WAEC 2023 objective section. And the question reads thus: I want to find the value of x given log x to base 3 plus log of x minus 8 to base 3 is equals to 2. Now this is a question on logarithm equations. So we are looking for the value of x in this case. And the first thing we need to do is to recall ourselves on the laws of logarithm. So let's come to this side and let's recall the laws of logarithm. The first law is the addition law. That's log a plus log b, provided that they have the same base. That's c. We'll have it to give us log ab in base c. Similarly, log a minus log b, provided they have the same base, is equivalent to log a over b to base c. In the same vein, when we have log a raised to the power of b, let's say to base c, it will be equals to b, because b becomes a multiplier of log a to base c. And similarly, when we want to convert from index form or to logarithm form, we will have something like, let's say, log a to base c, or let's say log a to base b, let's stick to c, is equals to b. This is in logarithm form. And then in index form, we will have something like a is equals to b raised to the power of c rather raised to the power of b. So where the base of the logarithm becomes the base of the index. So let's apply that now to the question. So the first thing we see here is that we have log x to base 3 and also log x minus 8 to base 3. They have the same base, yes, and likewise they have the addition law. So let's apply the addition law now to the left hand side. So a is equals to x, b is equals to x minus 8. Remember, we're applying the addition law. So this will result into log of ab, that's x multiplied by x minus 8 to base 3, which is equals to what? 2. So as simple as that is, now let's now apply. We can see now that this is related to the conversion from logarithm form to index form. Remember, let's label it now. We will have this to give us our a, the base is c, and the number is b. So remember, we are converting it to a is equals to c raised to the power of b. So a, that's x into x minus 8, is equals to c, that's 3 raised to the power of b, which is 2. And so now let's solve this equation now. So we have x squared, okay, minus 8x is equals to 3 raised to the power of 2 is 9. So this will result into x squared minus 8x minus 9 is equals to 0. So now we have a quadratic equation. You can see now we move from logarithm equation and we move on to indicial equation, and now we have a quadratic equation. So now let's solve the quadratic equation of x squared minus 8x minus 9 to be equals to 0. So we can either use quadratic formula, or then we factorize using the factors. So therefore the factors in this case now will be x squared minus x, we have plus x minus 8x minus 9 to be equals to 0, such that when we add these two together, this should be 9x. So that when we add these two together, we'll have minus 8x and then we can factorize. So we factorize the first two terms using x, so we'll have this to give us x plus 1, and the next two terms with minus 1, so we'll have x plus 1. Okay, so we have x plus 1 all equals to 0. So with that done, so this will become x plus 1 and also x minus 9 to be equals to 0. And moving on, we can take each term to be equals to 0 now, each factors. So this will be x plus 1 is equals to 0, likewise x minus 9 to be equals to 0. So we have the two values of x is equals to minus 1 or x is equals to 9. So now we have solved the equation, but then we look at our option, we only have the option of x is equals to 9, which is equivalent to option D. Let's move forward now to WAEC 2023 objective question number 7. I believe you have been enjoying this section, and let's establish understanding further. Now the question reads thus: Mr. Manu is 4 times as old as his son Adu, and 7 years ago the sum of their ages was 76 years old. How old is Adu? That is, how old is Mr. Manu's son? So presently, let's begin. Presently, okay, we can say that let Mr. Manu's age, let his age be equals to x, and let the son's age, that's Adu's age, okay, be equals to y. Let's call this age y. Now let's go through the question again. Now it says Mr. Manu is 4 times as old as the son. So that means the Mr. Manu's age, x, is equals to 4 times his son. That means x is equals to 4y. Okay. Now let's move to the next line. It says 7 years ago. So let's move this in this manner. You can even move this, okay, just for ease of pictorial representation. Now 7 years ago, now 7 years ago, Mr. Manu's age will be what? And Adu's age will be what? Now presently Mr. Manu's age is x, and Adu's age is y. However, it was stated that Mr. Manu's age is what? 4 times the age of the son. So now, if 7 years ago, if presently Mr. Manu's age is x, definitely 7 years ago his age will be what? X minus 7. Similarly, if 7 years ago Adu's age is y, then if presently Adu's age is y rather, then 7 years ago his age will be equals to what? Y minus 7. Now, how old is Adu, given that the sum of their ages 7 years ago is 76? So we are saying that x minus 7 plus y minus 7 is equals to 766. So let's simplify this now, and we will have the value of Adu's age. Remember, Adu's age is y, and we are looking for y. So with this now, let's simplify the two equations. So we understand that x is equals to 4y. We can call it equation 1. And this further now, if we simplify this further, we'll have x minus 7 plus y minus 7 to be equals to 76. So if we simplify further, we'll have x plus y minus 7 is minus 14 is equals to 76. Moving minus 14 to the right hand side, so we have x plus y to be equals to 76 plus 14. Right again in red ink, so we have x plus y to be equals to 90. So now we have two equations. Okay, we have equation 1 and we also have equation 2. So all we just have to do is to find the value of y, because y represents Adu's age. So now let's substitute 1 into 2. So let's substitute equation 1 into 2. So in view of that, anywhere we see x, we are going to make what? Substitution of 4y. So equation 2 is x plus y is equals to 90. And we are saying that wherever we see x, we make substitution of 4y. So we have 4y plus y to be equals to 90. And definitely this will result into 5y. 5y is equals to 90, and y will be equals to 90 divided by 5. So therefore y is equals to what? 18 years. So what does the question say? The question says, how old is Adu? Presently Adu's age is y, and definitely y is equals to 18 years. So Adu's age is 18 years, which is equivalent to option C. Now we might ask, what about Mr. Manu's age? Mr. Manu's age will just be 4 times Adu's age. So let's use this ink just to solve separately. Remember, from equation 1, x is equals to 4y. X is Mr. Manu's age. So Mr. Manu's age will be equals to 4 multiplied by 18. 4 multiplied by 18 is 72 years. So Mr. Manu's age is 72 years, but Adu's age is 18 years. Now let's continue with WAEC 2023 objective question 8. The question asks us to factorize completely of x squared minus y plus z squared. Now when we see something like this, what should come to our mind is a squared minus b squared. Okay, that's difference of 2 squared, and difference of 2 squared results into the addition of them, that's a plus b, multiplied by the subtraction, that's a minus b. So in view of this now, what is a, what is b, so that we can just apply the formula and be done with this question. So therefore we are saying that a is equals to x, as we can see, and b is equals to y plus z. B is equals to y plus z. So now let's rewrite the question. X squared minus y plus z squared. We are going to apply a plus b and a minus b. A plus b multiplied by a minus b. So what is a? A is x. So we have x being added to b. Okay, b is y plus z. So x plus y plus z. And similarly, what is a? A is x, and we are subtracting it from b, which is y plus z. So with this now, we can simplify further, and this will result into x plus y plus z. Change the bracket form and open the bracket here with minus or negative rather. This will be x minus y minus z. And this will be the resolution of x squared minus y plus z squared. And now we can see this option of x plus y plus z multiplied by x minus y minus z is equivalent to option C. So now we have option C, and now we just have to apply what's the difference. Let's write it. The difference of 2 squares. Let's move forward to WAEC 2023 objective question 9. The question says we should find the root of the quadratic equation of 3m squared minus 2m minus 65. Okay, minus 65 is equals to 0. Now, how do we solve this? Should we use factorization method, or we should just simply use quadratic formula? All right, using factorization method might be complex, so let's use factorization method, quadratic formula. And within quadratic formula, we have x is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, everything divided by 2a. Now, in this case, we are not dealing with x, we are dealing with m. And to get our values of a, b, and c, we are going to make comparison to am squared minus bm, okay, plus bm rather, plus c to be equals to 0. So in essence, we are saying that a is equals to 3, as you can see, b is equals to minus 2, and c is equals to minus 65. So in view of that, we can now find the values of m as we proceed. So let's apply the formula now. M is equals to b, that's minus b. B is minus 12, so we have minus into minus 2, plus or minus square root of b squared. Proceed again with b, which is minus 2, so we have minus 2 squared, minus 4ac. For the a is 3, so we have 4 into 3, and c is minus 65 multiplied by minus 65. And everything is being divided by 2a. We can see that a is equals to 3, so we have everything divided by 2 multiplied by 3. So with this now, we'll have two values of m, which we will have in the option. So let's solve for that now. So we have m to be minus into minus 2, that will give us positive 2, plus or minus 2 squared is equals to 4, minus, if we use our calculator, for 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by minus 65, we will have minus 780, and 2 multiplied by 3, as we have here, is equals to what? 6. So therefore we will have 2 plus or minus square root of 4, minus multiply minus, and then we'll have positive 4 plus 780 divided by 6, and then we'll have 2 plus or minus square root of 784 divided by 6. Now with 784, if we use our calculator, or if we are used to the figures or the tables, we'll understand that with 784 is equals to 28. So we have 2 plus or minus 28 divided by 6. Now with this positive negative, we will have two values of m. So we are saying that m can be equals to 2 plus 28 divided by 6. And we can also say that m is equals to 2 minus 28. 2 minus 28 divided by 6. So just as we have plus or minus here, we'll have plus and minus. So if we simplify now, 2 plus 28 will give us 30 divided by 6. 2 minus 28 will give us minus 26 divided by 6. So 30 divided by 6 will give us 5, minus 26 divided by 6 will give us minus 13 divided by 3. Minus 13 divided by 3. So we have m to be equals to 5, or m to be equals to minus 13 over 3. So like this, now we can have 5 comma minus 13 over 3, and this is equivalent to option C. So all we did was to use the quadratic formula, know our a, b, and c, and make the substitution down to the final. Now, WAEC 2023 objective question number 10. The question says m varies jointly, note the word jointly, as square of n and the square root of q. So let's deal with the first statement. We're given that m varies jointly. That means it's a combination. Okay, if it says party, then that means it is maybe addition or something. Now, if m varies jointly, that means we have m to be proportional to the square of n and also m, okay, m proportional to the square root of q. And this is the individual, but then it is now varied jointly. So we are saying that m is proportional to the square of n squared and also the square root of q. So we have m to be proportional to n squared with q. Now, to get rid of this proportionality sign, we have to add the constant of proportionality. So where we'll have m to be equals to the constant of proportionality k being multiplied by n squared root q. Now, let's proceed. We have discussed on the first line of the question that says m varies jointly to the square of n and the square root of q, and we have involved the proportionality sign k. Now, if m is equals to 24, n is equals to 2, and q to be equals to 4, we can now find the value of k. Okay, what is the value of k? So with this now, let's make k subject to formula here. So we are saying if we divide both sides by n squared with q, we are saying that k will be equals to m divided by n squared root q. So with this, we can easily find the value of k. So let's make our substitution. M is equals to 24, n is equals to 2, so we'll have 2 squared, and q is equals to 4, so we have multiplied by root 4. So this will result into 24 divided by 2 squared is equals to 4, and root 4 is equals to 2. So simply we have 24 divided by what? By 8, and 24 divided by 8 is equals to 3. So we have k to be equals to 3. Now, if k is equals to 3, then we can rewrite this equation now to give us, let's use a red pen this time, m is equals to 3 n squared root q. Now let's take a recall. This is the first line of the question that says m varies jointly as the square of n and the square root of q. This is the second line of the question. If m is equals to 24, n is equals to 2, q is equals to 4, we found the value of k. Now, the third line of the question is find m. That means m is what? When n is equals to 5 and q is equals to 9. So what is m? So what we just have to do now is to use this formula. You'll notice that we cannot use this formula because we do not know the value of k. So we found the value of k, and we have this expression now. And with that, we can now apply this formula and say m is equals to 3 multiplied by n squared. N is 5, that's 3 multiplied by 5 squared, multiplied by the root of q. The q is equals to 9, that's root of 9. So therefore, m is equals to 3 multiplied by 25 multiplied by root of 9, that's 3. So this will give us 9 multiplied by 25, and m will be equals to 225. And this is equivalent to option D. So with this, we have now solved the question. So we took it bit by bit from the expression to evaluating k, from evaluating k to evaluating the value of m.